take these off.
Yeah, you can take it off.
I don't know. I want to be like a DJ and be like, so.
Yeah. DJ Graves. I like it. Cool. You good? Tell me about Tacit again.
Oh, are we doing this
Yeah,
now?
yeah. You can.
Okay.
Yeah, you're just talking. Go ahead.
Tacit is, so I love all my local coffee. I mean, we got lots of local goodies. Table 304, we got mug shots, but Tacit is a coffee cart. So you follow them on Instagram
and they just bounce around different locations.
Yeah, they plan it out. They're strategic with it, and like people can rent them for like events, and like you could have a wedding and be like, we want to have a coffee cart.
Wow.
So they pop up at events. Like Tuesdays, they're at the Warwood Market, like farmers market. Like today, they're outside a public market. Sometimes they're at Clientele.
Yeah,
They've been
I'm following
at
them right
Outdated
now.
Threads. Like you got to follow them. They are both. It's a husband and wife duo. Both teachers, music teachers.
Found them.
They roast their own coffee.
Wow.
And whenever I see their cart, I go and find it.
What's your favorite flavor you get from them?
Their oat milk latte.
Wow.
Or their matcha lemonade is fire.
Yeah, I'm all over that.
It's so refreshing.
Have you seen any sweet cream cold foam from them yet? Do they do any sweet cream?
No, I don't know.
That's my sweet treat. I don't need it. I'm just saying, like, if I'm really trying to act up.
I think if I'm going for a cold foam or something, I'm going to hit up Table 304 because I know. But I don't know if they do it on the cart.
How about
Lara and Steve are probably going to kill me. They're going to be like, yes, we do.
You just said this. How about how many good coffee options we have around here? Mugshots, Table 304, Tacit now, Sarah's on Main.
All these
Espresso
guys.
Martini from Elle and Jacks.
Yeah. I mean, we sell coffee. It's not really our thing, but like, lots of great, awesome coffee options. And
Tacit,
that's my jam.
Tacit just got a new follower, and I'm going to get their coffee tomorrow. So.
Yeah, well, you got to check them out though, because you got to see their schedule.
Oh, wait a second! Private event tomorrow, so they're
see,
unless it's at a bridal shower.
And it's 1:10, so they were only a public market till 1.
Okay.
But they are prompt with those times, and you'll find them. So the next time you might not find them till they're at Tuesday. They're at the Warwood Farmers Market, and they pull up right next to Midge's Hot Dogs, so you can get like hot dog and coffee, which is a super weird combo, but
that's awesome.
I do it to support my friends.
Yeah, I'm all over this. I love a little evening coffee too. It says they're open 4 to 7 on this last Tuesday. They do that every Tuesday, 4 to 7?
Yeah, unless they have maybe a private event that pops up, but they have been out there 4 to 7. Yeah, I hit them up.
Cool. All right, let's get started. Go ahead, introduce yourself to the people.
I'm Lara Graves, and I'm the co-owner of Avenue Eats, Elle and Jacks, and recently we sold Whisk, but
how long until you open up your third one? Because I feel like you're running 3 businesses for a while, so you have to be bored now, right?
No, I mean we're keeping really busy. Being at Waterfront Hall has kept us on our toes. High volume that we're not had never been used to, but we've adjusted to, I think, pretty quick. I don't know. I mean, people have come to us with some ideas.
Oh, this is fun. What is there more traffic through Avenue Eats right now, or more traffic through Elle and Jacks?
It's definitely higher volume at Avenue Eats because we've got Waterfront Hall, because we share space with, our friends at Waterfront Hall. We've got the folks next to us with Wood Fired Pizza Company. Excuse me. It's that high volume, so it's just go. But Elle and Jacks is busy and has its peak. So, but it's like, you never know, like lunch can be busy and then it's down. But our weekends are always chaos at Elle and Jacks. There's like.
So how'd that relationship start with Waterfront? Because I feel like you guys were in Waterfront as soon as they opened, right?
Yeah.
It was like, okay, how'd that start?
Yeah. With that, that's the brainchild of Dan Millison down there. And he came to us probably in 22, maybe, because we're getting ready to celebrate 1 year at Waterfront Hall in August, which is mind crapping.
Go ahead. No, you're allowed to cuss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're good.
But he came to us probably in like 22 and was like, I just want you to come see this space. And we like walk in, and it's just piles of like where the event site is. It's piles of dirt and gravel, and there's shit everywhere. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, and I'm a visionary. Like, I see it, and he's
Oh,
like,
so you didn't just turn around and leave immediately?
No. I was super intrigued, and I was like, show me, like, tell me, kind of thing. And you could tell he could see it all.
Yeah,
he
that's
could
so
tell
cool.
what he wanted to do, and he was like telling me, and I'm like, okay. And I was like, all right, we're gonna see, because he's a Caddis guy, you know, he's not like what we would call our like local, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're like, let's see where this goes. And then like he'd be like, hey, come back in, you know, and check. He's like, really wanted us to be a part of his project.
That's
and
so cool.
which was a lot of fun. This whole process was insane. But so he'd bring us back to show us like, okay, this is where it is, and this is like where we've gotten with progress. And he proved that he was gonna like actually follow through. And I mean, you know, Wheeling doesn't always have people that follow through.
Absolutely.
Roxby. And but and I mean, so next thing you know, I'm like, we're walking in, and he's got walls down.
Yeah,
he's got
it's done
happening.
at that point. Wow.
And like, we're talking about like seating and materials and different things, and just we're
so
all
cool.
vibing
Because
together.
was there at that point, was there any plans to open back up Avenue Eats? Because Elle and Jacks has been rolling at that point.
Yeah, Elle and Jacks opened in the beginning of 21.
Yes.
So we had been out at Nikki's Garden Center on their Warden Run location for 2 summers. I had already decided that we weren't reopening there in 23. It was great. It was just really hard. It wasn't like it wasn't a full menu and stuff. We just knew we wanted to do something, but we hadn't like put our finger on it yet. And then when he started talking to us, it was like, you know, you started going, okay. He's a persuasive man.
Yes.
And
yes.
I can appreciate a good visionary. And that's, you know, he's like sharing not just what he wants to put with us, but like what he's building.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
So
It's
he's
what
a big
a great
idea
job
guy,
he's
and
done
I'm
there.
a big idea gal. And Phil, my husband, that we partner in all of our projects, was just super impressed with like the potential of the building, and then to be a part of it. So he I think he sought us out as like a good partner with him.
Yeah.
So that's how it came about.
So awesome. It feels perfect. Like when you walk in there, like it's just, and I've talked about this with Dan before. Any big city you're in, you have something like that. And like the food is always so delicious and so consistent.
Oh,
like
thanks.
it doesn't miss. You know what I mean? When you go in there, and the atmosphere is always the same. The food's always the same. You know what you're getting. Like it's great every single time.
Aw.
So like you go and do that, and then I mean on the other end, you're running an unbelievable like restaurant. Avenue Eats is a restaurant. You know what I mean? But then Elle and Jacks, it's a different style, obviously. And it's I was gonna ask you this. How about like the feel when you're in Elle and Jacks? Like obviously you could have bigger space, so you could have more tables, but there's something to say about like the atmosphere every time you go in there, and it feels crowded, but you're not on top of each other. Like there's always such a good vibe in there. And is there like, as a restaurant owner, is that something you kind of try to get to with the space you have, or kind of how does that work?
Oh yeah. Like, so I designed the inside of Elle and Jacks, and so for me, everything is about, from the moment you walk in, an experience doesn't just happen when you eat your food.
Yeah.
So the moment you walk in, it's, you know, where's the lighting? How does it feel when you sit in a chair? Like I sat in a dozen chairs before I decided on a chair that felt good on my back. Like I wanted to hit just a certain point on my back.
Yeah.
I want, when you go into the bathroom and you're having like this great date night, and you walk in the bathroom and your night's fucking is ruined because of bad light. You walk out, you're like, oh my god, you know, but you walk in and you've got just the right light and you feel good about it, you know, and you like, everything is about the experience, what you're looking at, where you're sitting,
so cool.
and so I mean, I probably drive our staff nuts, because I'll be like, just even where the table is spaced, where are you and how close are you to the wall, and if you're sitting, you're like, my brain is on constant 10
yeah.
with like the experience of everything.
Yeah.
That
is awesome.
And
how cool is that? I always just think about, from a business mindset, how tough it would be to run a restaurant. Like, there's so many moving parts. Like, I was in there for lunch last week, and I heard you going through some system about tweaking either a recipe or like something going on the menu. And I'm like, that is way more work than I want to deal with right now. So like, what are some of the things that go on behind the scenes that people don't think about?
I mean, a lot of times, it's like when there's that like unpredictable component of things that can throw a system off. Somebody got sick, so they're shorthanded, and all you can think about is like, why is my food taking so long?
Yeah.
But like, things happen, and it's so hard, I think, sometimes for the guest to realize like, oh, maybe something happened back in the kitchen. A piece of equipment broke. Somebody dropped something. And like, I think that one of the hardest things for people to understand is like the human factor.
Yeah, definitely.
Of things. And I don't even think it's just our industry. I think it's in a whole with society anymore, and like ruling out human factor and like human mistakes or human, problems.
Definitely.
And stuff. And so like with a restaurant, like there's just so many things that can go bad and can go wrong, and we're just super lucky. I just think we struck gold at Elle and Jacks. Both Avenue Eats and Elle and Jacks, phenomenal staff. But we're talking specifically about Elle and Jacks right now, and we struck gold with our head chef.
Yeah, that's
Conroy
awesome.
Campbell.
I just can't believe how
he's
like, I've been there, I don't even know how many times now, lunch, dinner. Every single meal feels like I should be in like a top restaurant in a big city. Like,
and that's what we want.
It's unbelievable. It's like it is never missed. Like, this is funny. We've interviewed some people before that have owned like big businesses and stuff, and I'll get on there and look at their reviews before to bring them up to the owners. I was on Google.
Don't bring it. I know what people write.
No, this is so funny. I got on Elle and Jacks reviews. It was like 211 reviews, like 170 of them, something were 5 stars, like something ridiculously good. I went down there, I was like, okay, I gotta see some of the funny things people have written. Someone gave you guys 1 star, and all it said was, don't get the fish for lunch, like 3 years ago. I was like, what could happen?
Which one was that on? Google.
It was like 3 years. You haven't had a bad review in like 10 months. I was literally looking at that. It's been 10 months since someone has, and even the negative things that are like 3 stars, it says, my food was unbelievable, like my fork was missing, or something ridiculous where people shouldn't be complaining about that.
Yeah, reviews are tough. And I don't know if people realize that like you can have hundreds of amazing reviews, and like 2 people give you a hard time, and even if it's a 3, let alone a 1, it knocks you down.
Yeah.
So when you just look at a number, you go, oh, I just had this conversation this morning about like Google reviews.
Yeah.
With Avenue Eats, we have like 700 and some reviews, and there's only like a couple mediocre ones, and we have a 4.7.
Yeah.
And it's like, because last week somebody was like, he gave us a 3-star. He said, your food is great, but the staff looks miserable. And it was 100 degrees outside.
I'd be miserable too.
How our system works in that kitchen is it sucks in air from the outside.
Yeah.
So we're pulling in 100-degree air over top of a grill that's 170.
It was probably 140 in there.
It was we have a thing, and it peaked almost 200 degrees under that hood. I'm like, the fuck yeah, we're miserable.
Yeah, we're miserable.
And now you just made me miserable because
Yes.
you don't understand the human factor.
Yes, exactly.
The human factor. We have phenomenal people, but it's hot, or you have a bad day, and it's like, why are you gonna? If the food was great, just find some good stuff. But
Yes.
don't be like, oh, their people are miserable.
I just can't, like, people should be grateful that we have that you have nice things. Like, enjoy the good food, enjoy the good atmosphere. Like, you don't have to sit there and be miserable because of something like that.
People just pick
Yeah,
at each
it's
other.
crazy.
And it's like, come on.
Like I was reading another one. It was they gave you 3 stars, had an unbelievable time, posted the pictures, like you could tell they had a blast, and it was like my something was late. Like one of their appetizers, one of their foods were late. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like that shit, you people are. I can't believe you're ranking it this because of one thing. Like that's just. Oh, we were talking about this the other day. Where do you stand with to-go tipping? If you're getting food to go, say you order the food, like if I call Elle and Jacks, I get a burger and fries to go. Should people feel obligated, or do you think they still should tip when they're getting their to-go food?
So I'm kind of on the fence about that. I think that it's a nice nod to say,
yes.
I definitely don't think it's like a, why didn't they give me 20%? They, like I answered their phone call. It's like, no, that's not like a 20% kind of deal.
Yeah.
20% is like you're getting serviced, but like if you want to throw a couple bucks on there because it's like a nice nod to the, hey, thanks.
Yes, exactly.
They're a couple bucks, but there's nobody in their right mind that should be anticipating like a tip
yeah.
that's not even 10%. Like, but people do, they tip phenomenal, and we're so fortunate to have a lot of people that are just like, the service industry gets hit so hard over and over with like negativity that they want to throw that out there. And that I think that started even more during COVID. I think people were like, service industry, hospitality, like they're getting bent over. And it's continued with some really great like thoughtfulness where it finally like struck people like, like let's be a little easier and like let's give them a boost.
Yes.
But I mean, what do you think?
Well, because one of our guys was just talking about like when he goes to these restaurants, if you do a bad job, he's still giving you 20% because of like how crazy other people are, and some people just don't tip at all, and it's. We were talking about like the kind of the European style, how the servers are paid just to work there. But then like on our American style, like what our restaurants in America struggle, like if you had to do that, if you were paying your servers an hourly wage instead of getting tips, would that take a huge cut into your business? Or do you feel like you could raise your food prices more than that, or what would happen?
Yeah, I mean, it has to be compensated in one way, so like with our servers, servers usually make like a really bare bones.
It's like $2 or $3 an hour or something.
It's like $2.75 is the minimum for servers. We pay ours almost double.
Wow. For
servers.
Yeah.
I think it's how we actually have been able to retain more people, or even be able to like draw some things. I mean, your bottom line has to be made up somewhere. So if you're going to pay people livable wages, which I totally support, then it's got to be made up with the cost of the food, or it's somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if I know somebody's gonna like totally bash me when I say this, so like if our staff's listening, they're gonna be like, we hate you. But I think that we feel like we have to give 20%. Yeah. Which like. But there are circumstances, like, say your food just didn't hit right. You were kind of like, I had it before and it was really good. This was kind of, and that tip, you've got to base it off of the service. Yes. And not like,
what's going on back there.
I felt like this might have been, because that's the back of the house.
Exactly. We were just talking about that.
Exactly. They're not getting that tip.
Exactly.
It's your server. So did the server bring it on time? Were they attentive? Did they remember everything? Like, did they make you feel like you were, like, they valued your experience and stuff? But, like, if your steak you wanted medium and it came in, like, a little, medium rare.
Yeah, your server shouldn't have to pay for that.
They didn't take it off the grill. And, like, I just wish people would be a little more vocal and be like, hey, because we are 100% are, like, if that's just not anything like you like we messed it up and we're happy to redo it. Yeah. We'll take it off your check if it's our mess up. But if you're like, it's not really what I wanted, or like it didn't taste like I thought it would taste, that's kind of on you because it's like a taste thing. If we like effed it up how we made it, then we're taking it off and fixing it and doing everything we can to make stuff right. But like, don't take it out on the server,
Agreed.
Like, that's not on them. It's on them if they won't fix it.
Yes.
But yeah, so it's kind of tricky, but I feel like if the server's not attentive, they didn't do their job, then tips should not be like expected, obligated. You earn a tip.
Yeah,
I learned that
100%.
a long time ago. You earn your tip. You shouldn't just be like, I deserve it because I did this.
Yeah.
So they forget stuff. 15%. It kind of reflects the service level of what you got, but I go 25. I usually get
I think it's awesome.
higher.
I love when people tip a lot. Like, I think that's so cool. They take care of
25 is like my bare, but there are times I love to be the surprise. I love if I can afford it in the moment and to be able to surprise somebody with like a and like get out the door before it gets awkward.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit them with it,
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, a lot of, like, my fiance, a lot of our close friends tip super, super well, which is fun to watch. What about Elle and Jacks if it franchised? What's one city like if you could just plug and place everything going on right now, it would go smoothly, a city where you would stick Elle and Jacks right now and you'd be like, this is awesome?
I love Chicago.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
I love Chicago.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Pittsburgh's rad and it's close, and I don't know if people realize just like how phenomenal like it is that we live an hour from like all these great neighborhoods and all this stuff going on and whatever, but like Chicago is just so cool.
Yeah.
And
I've only been one time, and it was freezing in the middle of the winter. And it was snowing and it was cold, so I didn't really get to experience everything that I wanted to, but I'm trying to get back soon to go see a Cubs game. But wow, Elle and Jacks, like right by Wrigley Field in Chicago. Sign me up for that.
Yeah, we went to Chicago last year for like summer vacation. We're like our youngest, he loves city life.
Yeah.
He wants to live in a city and stuff, and he we went to Chicago for a few days, and we went to Wrigley Field.
That's
and
awesome.
We did like we went to the hot dog place where they like abuse you, like like,
sign me up for all of it.
Yeah, they're like, what the fuck you want on that? And like they yell at you and stuff. We did all this stuff.
What does a personal day of Lara Graves look like when she's not running two restaurants? Like, if you get a day off, no one's bugging you, no one's blowing your phone up. Like, what's a nice, easy day look like?
So we're closed Sunday and Monday, both places. So my favorite thing on Sunday, if possible, is to I always get up early. I mean, it's just like my clock, my internal clock. But I love to get up on Sunday and be wide awake and drink my coffee in bed and put on useless television.
Nice.
Just like, and when I say useless, it's like the stuff that you watch and you're like, after you watch it, you're like, I just wasted my brain for like an hour.
You can't beat it though.
Watching,
that's awesome.
Like Shameless.
Yes.
That's the worst show, but it's like just that
you can't take your eyes off it though.
Yeah, it's like a weird car, like an accident or something. You just can't help but like look, but so something like that. But lately we've just been, it's just nice to just be able to say we're gonna do what we want to do.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
If we want to do nothing, and that just means like stuff around our house. Or recently Phil and I have gone on some bike rides.
Nice.
And I've never been like a bike person at all, but this was awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a great different kind of cardio.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so our Sundays, it is what we want.
Good.
Like what we want to do. And we never really had that before, but we've really worked on that like work-life balance.
Yeah, it's nice.
And it's brought us a lot more calm and enjoying that, like, all right, Sunday, it's whatever. Monday, we're closed, but we can do the work that we never get done during the thing. Like, it's payroll, it's bills, it's stuff that sucks, but it's still, like, get it done. We like to eat dinner together.
Nice.
Dinner is like a thing. We still love to cook at home.
Good.
Despite
Who's a better cook between you two? Uh-oh. Okay, let me rephrase this.
We each have our
own things. Yeah. See, so you're both good. If you had to, let's just say it was just you two running Elle and Jacks in Chicago, okay? It's just you two. You don't have any staff. Who's the head chef and who's the sous chef?
I'm head.
Would he agree with that? Would he say the same? Okay, cool.
Yeah, Phil would totally agree.
He would be like,
you're the head chef, you're the host, you're the dishwasher. Like, I would be the one doing this, and he's just the most supportive.
Yeah.
He's like, I mean, I'm sure you've got that like dynamic with your fiance where you both have like your strong points.
Yes, 100%.
But you know that like your strong point wouldn't be that strong if she didn't have your back.
1,000%. You're on it.
So like that's us.
Yeah.
You know, and like he's that brain that like figures out how to fix all the shit when I'm like, oh, it's not work, like whatever, and he's like, we'll do this, and you know, or like he's my runner.
Yeah.
He runs and like. He has a high tolerance for that where I'm just like, I can't.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's a really good. And it wasn't always like that, though. Man, it was so hard in the beginning. When we just had Avenue Eats, it was hard.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
What a good job you guys did there, too, though.
Oh,
you just never missed either. Like, it was so fun to go sit down and you know you're getting a great meal and the atmosphere was great. That was awesome. Can you feel a difference right now in the atmosphere and like the momentum of Wheeling right now compared to when you were in your first location? I feel like if you're a restaurant or business owner in the city of Wheeling right now, you got to almost feel like you invested in a great stock, like where it's going. Can you feel that as a restaurant owner?
Absolutely. Just like walking here. So I was at Elle and Jacks. Well, I was at the Ave.
Yeah.
Then I went to Elle and Jacks.
The Ave. I like that. I've never called it that.
Yeah. So I was at the Ave. Even our like little logo stickers say just the Ave.
I like that.
Somebody in the beginning was like, "Oh, don't change your name." I'm like, "I'm not. It's just cute." But so I came down from Elle and Jacks and I was walking, and it's that perspective that you have walking down 12th, and I came into the lot, and I was looking up towards the health plan, and like the DeCarlo's building is coming up, and like if you are working downtown, you're contributing to like the progress, you own businesses, you're buying stuff, and you know some of the buzz of what's happening, because there's a lot of stuff happening right now, a lot of investing happening, stuff is popping up every day that I'm hearing. Like someone just bought this building and this is what they want to do, someone just bought this, like it's everywhere. It's so cool. Rad,
so cool.
And you gotta feel like anyone down here right now has to feel this like privilege.
Yes, agreed.
To be on the front of this. I mean, we have folks that came down here before us. Look, Matt Welsh, Vagabond Kitchen.
Yeah.
He came down here before us. So I mean, he's right on the front edge of that. I mean, there's lots of businesses a bit down here, and I hope they're as hyped as like we are as being. I mean, we've been here 3 years now. Elle and Jacks 3 years. Ave is almost on 1 downtown. We're 11 years total.
Are you throwing a party for it being the 1 year? Oh
yeah. I was just talking to Dan last night actually, because I was like, "What are we doing? It's a year." Like,
how about how much stuff has happened there? Like since you've been in the last year, like that's
like
insane.
What stuff?
It's every weekend. It's literally every weekend. There's something going on. It's every night. I feel like it's going on.
There's stuff, and there's just things. I mean, like. The first flood in 10 years hits right after we open.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, we're cursed by like things. I just feel like, and water has been awful, but it was insane. Like literally, we had a whole conversation when the kitchen was being built, and the city of Wheeling's like super strict on like the water stuff now, and like water pollution control and things like that. And they're like, the grease trap has got to be suspended under the kitchen. It can't be on the basement floor. Yeah, like real strict, because if there's a flood, and we were like,
there's not gonna be a flood.
We're like, there hasn't been a flood here since 2014 or 2004, whatever it was. We're like, it's not gonna flood, and literally, like all of a sudden, we're like,
it's unbelievable.
Like it's, and Dan and I both were just like, I think he said like, are gonna have to eat crow. Is that a saying?
I don't know. It sounds like something Dan
on this
would
one
say.
because they were so right. We're like, if our grease trap had been down there,
the whole place
when the water came in, and it wasn't a ton of water, and they did a phenomenal job of like cleaning it up and doing like it was all. I mean, the everything that people chipped in to keep that water down at Waterfront Hall was awesome. But if it had been down there, oh my gosh,
it would have been big trouble.
Like this giant grease trap, trying to figure out how to get it up out of there, it would have been a nightmare. But we were just like, we just had to laugh because we're just like, seriously, like we didn't. A flood?
Yeah, seriously.
But there's just always, I mean, it's just stuff where you're just like, it's growing pains. And growing pains are just that, like, painful. But, you know, figuring out how we can all work in each other's space. We've never worked with anybody before. Like, we've always done our own thing.
Yeah.
So it's like getting a roommate. You know, like, you got to share the bathroom now.
Yeah, seriously.
And you've got to, like, learn how to, like, play well together. And, like, I'll be, like, the first one to admit, like, that's really hard for me. Because I'm like, I want to make a decision. I want to do it, get it done. I see it, I do it. Problem, solution. That's me.
Yeah.
But I've had to, like, try and be okay with, all right. Like,
having a roommate.
That's cool. All right. Yeah. Having a roommate.
How long until we get a Lara Graves inspired rooftop bar in Wheeling? Less than 2 years? When's that coming?
I'm not doing anything on a rooftop. But, I mean, that's the big plan for Waterfront Hall.
Good.
Is to eventually be on that roof.
Good.
I would love to inspire a rooftop bar, but I don't think that's my thing. Right now, I think people are pushing for us. Well, I know people have asked us about doing something for breakfast.
I was just gonna ask you, when are we starting brunch at Elle and Jacks at least, or even Avenue Eats, because I can picture a nice fall Sunday or even a Saturday.
You're
college
a brunch guy.
Huge brunch guy. Mimosas, French toast, bacon. Count me in. My fiance did her school in Savannah, Georgia. They do brunch better than anyone I've ever seen.
Oh, I love Savannah.
So yeah, a Saturday or Sunday inspired by the Graves. I need good drinks. I know the food's going to be phenomenal. Kickstart me right into college football or right into NFL. I know it'll be great.
Well, right. I mean, the idea, I mean, everybody's always asking us what's next, you know? And I bet you guys, how long have you guys been doing this?
We're 27 months, 2 years and 3 months.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And then like you guys did Waterfront Hall, the Waterfront Fest.
Yes.
And I'm sure, like, do you get that?
All the time.
People are like,
and it's our favorite
what
thing.
Are you doing next?
It's our
so
favorite
tell
thing.
me. I'm going to turn this on you.
No, we can't flip. We can't flip the interview here. You're still getting
flip
interviewed.
The script.
What's next? Focusing big time on this radio over here. We're on the radio 7 hours a week, and it's almost like we were just talking about the stock of like Wheeling. Radio is so down right now across the country just because of podcasts, Instagram, YouTube. Like everything's digital now. Mm-hmm. Radio's kind of in the past, but you know how history repeats itself. So radio will go back up at some point.
Radio is a bell bottom.
Yes, exactly.
It's a bell bottom gene.
Yes, we can't wait to like, we're having so much fun with it, so why not embrace it? So we're going to like, we're already thinking about how to get like syndicated in different states. Like how do we draw more eyes? Because like we've done the pickleball tournament, we've done the beer mile, we've live streamed other things. Like every time we do something, we bring people in from out of the state because they know someone that's going to be there. So how do we just keep growing that to at some point there's just these massive events that we're hosting in this area?
See, and that's the excitement when you talk about downtown and you talk about growth and like what gets me, you know, like what gets my engine going here and seeing all these things and stuff. It's literally that. It's like everybody else and their ideas and like how we're all feeding off of that.
Definitely.
And like Waterfront Fest was just like a huge kind of like indication to me, like what can happen downtown. And like meeting you before this, like when you were like your previous job, you're coming in, you're like coming to Elle and Jacks, you're eating your weird salad, you're adding chicken
Caesar salad with sweet potatoes.
You're best. Like, can you put sweet potatoes and salmon on that instead of this and that? Like you had your princess.
Is that annoying when people do that?
No,
it's just a little extra.
It's just, you know, it just takes a second just to kind of like read the
but
ticket
it's so good.
Whatever.
Like that's what brought me back for 30 more times. Or 40,
and that's how we first met. And now like we're sitting here and you're doing that, like you're doing something, and like that's super exciting. So just as like people ask us what we're doing next, I want to know what everybody else is doing next.
We're excited for sure.
And, and flip the script and hear it, because then we've got like the communication.
Yeah,
everybody knows, like, and it's just super invigorating.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Oh, it's awesome. I love this place. We're very blessed and thankful to come from a place like this, because we're getting to travel the country now because of this, and it's like every time we travel, let's go back home and regroup, and like this is home. So I think knowing that
you guys all from here?
Born and raised, Wheeling Central, Wheeling Park, and then we all went to West Liberty. So
okay,
just knowing that like we're always gonna get to come back here, and this is like where our office is, and then now our office is about to get bigger, and like we're hiring more people, bringing on interns. It's like just knowing when we travel across the country, we can say this is where we're from. They're like, wow, we've never met anyone from there. And it's like, well, now you have. And come to our next event.
You say Wheeling, West Virginia, and they go, oh, I have a cousin that lives in Virginia.
Yeah,
like, no,
it's unbelievable.
Got the wrong state.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And it's hilarious. So I always just tell people, I'm like, we're from near Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Because then they go, oh, the Steelers.
Yeah,
no.
yeah, seriously.
I'm like, no, that's not how it is. But, I mean, it's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a small town, but it's like growing. Like we have people who regular occasion are driving there. We drove an hour. We drove an hour and a half. We're from Pittsburgh. We came in from Pittsburgh because we heard about your restaurant.
That's so cool.
And so Wheeling is getting that vibe. I met some people who were traveling from Wisconsin.
So cool.
Going through, and they were a couple. They were out on the patio. And I just happened to go out and like just do a table touch, like check in on them. And it was cool because when they told me that they were from Wisconsin, they were like, we're staying at the Hampton. And we just like looked it up, and you came up like
so
all
cool.
the top reviews, like stuff like that. And I was like, right on. And it was funny because we had a whole group coming in, and I was kind of trying to figure out how to like move some tables. And he was like, I'll move my table because I just had the best scallops of my life.
That's awesome.
And
That's awesome.
Like,
yes, you did.
The guy from Wisconsin just had the best scallops of his life in Wheeling, West Virginia.
That's so
but we
cool.
we get them all in fresh. Like we don't use frozen.
That's
like
awesome.
we're going that extra. Like that's why I say we hit gold with our chef. He gets it.
It's unbelievable.
We both are like, do it the right way or don't do it.
Yeah. You know what we need? Let's see if we can make this happen.
I love when people tell me what we need.
Okay. I'm not saying we need this for Elle and Jacks.
Oh, okay.
But it will be great. This is what made me think of it. When I'm coming from St. Clairsville or I'm coming from the Highlands, we need the signs like saying the food. Like, how like why can't we have Elle and Jacks there? Sarah's on Main, like the coffee places, like even with like little hours. Why can't like imagine how much more people are going to get off just because they see a food.
Yeah, so
why don't we have that?
You can do like the like the highway sign.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like the big green signs where it says food or drink.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of like doing it. Like you have to contact the state, like the Department of whatever, and like transportation, things like that, and you can like get on those things and stuff like that. I mean, we've done some billboards through Lamar.
Yeah.
Which has been really great because we do them solely based off of branding. Like when we opened Elle and Jacks, we wanted to really get the brand out there.
Yeah, the Elle and Jacks one on the big billboard looks so good coming from Ohio, right, into Wheeling.
No, we're coming. So right now it's
like down by Perkins.
Right now it's over top of Med Express.
Yeah.
So coming from West Virginia, getting ready to go through the tunnels, you see it there. It's getting ready to move over to closer to Elm Grove on one of the big ones there. But we really kind of want to start like getting over on the Ohio side.
Cool.
Like there's like the river is a weird barrier.
Yeah.
Have you experienced that?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like the people in St. Clairsville don't always know what
it
literally
feels like it's a big wall. Yeah,
and St. Clairsville has some amazing things happening too.
Yeah,
they've got a great downtown vibe that's building up. Like they do stuff. They do like some bike I don't know. They just do stuff. But like nobody knows what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we kind of want to try and market over that way a little bit more because it's like, get over you just get over the river, but it's always such a weird barrier for people. So I like that idea. I might look into that a little bit more.
Because no way it acts like no way that sign acts as a billboard when you stick that up, right? Because like when they go up and then you just put the restaurants and the different places on there and then it just stays there, or do you have
that's not, no, you have to pay something to
probably
do that,
the initial price, and then I feel like why wouldn't the city of Wheeling do that and then just put the different options there, like 8 to 9 different restaurants or whatever are downtown.
It's weird because it's a state thing.
Yeah,
it's by the state, and like you as an individual have to contact and ask, like, and do all the stuff to get on these like blue signs where it says food and you put the logo, and so like franchises, like the chain people and the big corporate,
it's probably a lot easier for them.
I'm not even gonna plug them with a name because I don't care. But those people that make fast food that are on all of those signs, that just seems like to be part of their package.
Yes.
To be on that. So for us little guys, it feels a little different, and sometimes it's like you want that, but I don't know if you want that.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Like, I don't think we want the tour bus that saw our sign.
Exactly. That's a great point.
And wants to pull up, because like when we were at Avenue Eats before, we had 30 seats.
Yeah.
Like I mean, for people who have known us before Waterfront Hall, know like how small we were, and people always wanted us to go bigger. And I'm always like, bigger's not always better.
Yeah.
Now in the case of Waterfront Hall, it's been incredible. So I'm like not knocking the bigger isn't better kind of thing. It's just high volume.
Yeah.
You know, so that's challenging. But we've always been like in that mindset of like, we like where we get to know people, like going back to how we've met you from coming into Elle and Jacks.
Yeah, definitely.
And we get to like, we know who people are, and we love for people to know us and like be able to relate, where like you go into one of these other places, you know anybody. You know, it's like a revolving door of people who are like, welcome to la la la, you know, can I take your order? And we don't want to be those people. We don't want the bus pulling up, you know, with, you know, 50 kids on it, plowing through, being pissed because it took 20 minutes to get a burger. And it's like, that's because we, you know,
that's not who we're marketing to
we
right
make
now.
Every single thing from scratch. Like, it's fresh ground meat every day. It's making our recipes. It's not.
It's the best. It's the best.
Thank you.
Elle and Jacks and Avenue Eats. Miss Lara Graves here. Hey, last segment here. It's called Fast Five. So you're going to get 5 questions, okay? No thinking about them. You just have to answer them. All right. This is
I hate this.
Listen, this
I've
is.
seen you guys do this before.
Listen. Fast 5. You don't get to think about it. They're easy questions.
Okay.
I'm just gonna ask it. Quick. First thing that pops in your mind. This is sponsored by the Brownie House in Morgantown. It's our new partnership. Do you like brownies?
Come on, look at me. I'm a big girl.
No, you're not.
I love brownies.
We'll have to get you some brownies.
I owned
then.
a bakery.
Yeah, I know.
I want to try them.
But did you eat your own cupcakes? People say don't get high on your own supply. But you just ate your own cupcakes when you would make them?
I would go through. There was a reason why.
That's probably why you had to sell it, right?
I was like, get a little too much. But no, I would taste test everything, like smaller bits to make sure, because I'm real big on
awesome.
The quality. So I'm tasting, I'm doing all that. But I mean, my kids, you know, kids are like, cupcakes, we love them. My kids were just like, whatever, it's a cupcake, because they were around it so much.
It's not just a cupcake though.
But
They're
I can
delicious.
appreciate a good brownie.
Oh, we're on this
Heck
then.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna make this happen. All right, here we go.
Fast
Five, sponsored by the Brownie House. You can go to yesbrownies.com. Any brownie shipment across the country, if you use the code word Pine Room, 20% off.
Ordering brownies.
They'll ship them to Chicago, to California. They'll ship them right.
House in Morgantown.
Brownie House in Morgantown.
That's
it's
my
unbelievable.
jam. I'm gonna order those.
All right, here we go. Fast 5. First one. Favorite movie.
Dirty Dancing.
Love it. Favorite song. You don't get time to think.
I don't know.
You have to have a song.
I don't have a song.
All right, we'll skip that one. Favorite food.
Indian food.
Favorite month of the year.
October.
Favorite car.
Mustang. Or I'm sorry, GTO.
For the win. Favorite saying or motto.
Oh, it could always be worse.
I love it. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Soup and Stuff. Go check out Elle and Jacks and Avenue Eats. I'll probably eat there about 50 more times before you see this come out.
Yeah, we love seeing your face.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me here.
This was a blast.
This
I appreciate
fun.
it. Yeah, we'll do it again.
Yeah, awesome.
See you, everybody.